So I have been chronically online my entire life, basically since the very first AOL CD-ROM came out. Ever since then, I've been entranced with the idea of putting all of my thoughts out there, even when they aren't good. But luckily for me and for all of you, I actually kept up a blog during the years of 2008 to 2011. And it's a cringe fest of epic proportions and also kind of a time capsule of millennial quirky girl culture. So let's get into it. I blogged a lot about fashion, and looking back, it's just so funny because you really can see the absolute chokehold that business wear had on us. Kind of had a weird fascination with like dressy button-up shirts, suspenders, and Argyle socks. I was super excited about them. This specific image of Sarah Jessica Parker literally lived in my head rent-free. In this entry here, I did a little photo shoot, and hours of watching America's Next Top Model inspired me to take photos on my bathtub in front of the shower curtain. Of course, naturally, with my Kodak EasyShare digital camera. This was my first American apparel purchase, and I felt so cool. So I worked at Express in the mall, which definitely fed into my business casual core obsession. And this outfit to me was like the peak of fashion. And this is literally what you would wear to work, like in a corporate office. I was 19. I was a college student. Like, why? But it's just a sign of the times. And another sign of the time is this specific entry here. I'm super excited because you can actually order clothes online now at express.com. You couldn't do that before. This was the genesis of online shopping. So I was a quirky girl, and that really did show itself in my musical choices as well. Give you a little good idea of my headspace in 2008. Here's a list of my, what I said, all-time favorite songs, which wasn't really true. I think this was just what I was listening to at the time, so I don't know why I said that. In no particular order, let's go through it. First Day of My Life, Bright Eyes. Plenty of Paper, Isley, which Isley is still one of my favorite underrated bands, by the way. Curious, Holly Brooke. I honestly don't even remember that song. Love Today, Mika, an extremely underrated artist. Love Mika so much. Wishful Thinking, the Diddy Bops. This was like the epitome of twee quirky girl culture, literally. Us, Regina Spektor, Naturally. A Sight to Behold, Isley, again, I was obsessed. Lua, Bright Eyes, was also obsessed with Bright Eyes. Thriller, Michael Jackson. I don't know, that's a little out of left field, but it is a bop. I'm Not Afraid of Anything, Songs for a New World, that's the theater girly kicking in. All You Need Is Love, The Beatles. Human, John McLaughlin. This is the most random song. Casimir Pulaski Day, Sufjan Stevens. I still ride for Sufjan, I really, really do. That song holds up. Must Have Done Something Right by Relient K. I actually was just recently listening to that album. Relient K was perfect for like those who grew up in the Christian household, but you wanted to be kind of emo, but you couldn't fully commit. Relient K, they were it. Anyone else was a fashion and internet obsessed girly in this era, then you probably already know about Polyvore, and I wrote a whole entry about this. I mean, it just kind of is describing what it is, but this is one that I think I had made, and here are just some other examples from 2008, so you can really see like what was the vibe at the time. I need to see if it's still around. I don't really know. Let's move on to my dorm room tour. Let's see what we got. I created this sort of spiral artwork with paint chips from Lowe's. We're ballin' on a budget, babe. Gotta have the Marilyn Monroe poster and Bewitched movie, I think. The way I was obsessed with Hello Kitty was scary in this era. So I had a Hello Kitty waffle maker and toaster. Super quirky girl behavior, y'all. I think this comforter set was from Delia's, literally, left over from my high school days. And is any millennial dorm room in 2008 complete without an Audrey Hepburn poster? I think not. So my roommate and I were both artistes, so you could see all of our artwork here on this wall. I especially love this photo because it really shows like the shoe trends of the time. We were both really into shoes. We had way too many shoes that one should have as a college student. There's a really fun entry about the time that we thought our dorm was haunted. Okay, but anyways, me and Robin totally adore our apartment, but we think that we actually have a visitor. A friend of ours has told us about several experiences with ghosts. For example, folding his clothes that were on the floor, always feeling like he was not alone. And we live on the same floor of the Rankin, the name of the building, which is really old and was previously burnt down and renovated. So basically last night, me and Robin were getting ready for bed, and out of nowhere, her computer starts playing this remix of Big Spender from her iTunes, which she remembered shutting down. It's creepy. So we are convinced that we have a ghost, but we are trying to make friends with it. It would be pretty cool if it would fold our clothes. I definitely wouldn't complain. Just like the implication that the ghost haunting us was into classical musical theater is great. The business casual core obsession continues here with this blog post where I featured some of my absolute favorite looks by Victoria Beckham. I was like fangirling over her so hard in this entry, and if I just look at the pictures, it's literally like all stuff you would just wear to the boardroom, like for a marketing agency in New York City or something, which is kind of ironic because now that's what I do, but I wear stuff like this. So my freshman year, I did a show that was like a children's show touring of Schoolhouse Rock Live 2, and we went to different elementary schools, and there was one school where the teachers had the kids write like little compliments, and I just have to share one of my favorite ones. You're my favorite character. I'm a student from Marion Middle School. You have a lot of talent and skills. You should sing with Beyonce. Your voice is like my choir's voice, and the songs you sing are wonderful. I love Schoolhouse Rock. You should sing with Beyonce. I'm just honored that she thought I could breathe the same air as Beyonce in this moment. Here's another fashion wish list. Plaid blazer. I'm telling you, the chokehold was real. And these very specific shoes, which I think they were Dior or Dolce & Gabbana, like one of those. First of all, I was broke. I was really into designer stuff, and like only in theory. I was obsessed with these specific shoes. Of course, I think Sarah Jessica Parker wore them in the Sex and the City movie. It was a fire outfit. So do you guys remember the time before streaming where you had to actually purchase your music? Here was my wish list of albums in 2008. And I said, yes, so buy them for me, please. Haha. And someone commented, I have Mamma Mia. I can burn it for you when you get back in Columbus. I listen to it constantly now. Sad. Why was that sad? That's not sad. But the concept of burning CDs was still very alive and well.
For legal purposes, this is a joke.
Do you guys remember the Snuggie? Oh, I remember. I had a hyperfixation on it. Just adding that to the list. This was a blog entry where I was waxing poetic about a Snuggie, so I'll read that for you. Oh, so how about I'm now the proud owner of a Snuggie. I know, some people like to say that it's just a backwards robe, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it is wonderful because it is longer than a robe, which means it covers your feet. And I'm pretty much 95% of the time freezing my butt off. So it is nice and cozy, and I can be curled up in a blanket while doing homework at the same time. I'll upload pictures later. I actually didn't upload pictures later, but I did love my Snuggie. Now, I don't even know what to say about this. Remember the LOLcat trend? I don't know what possessed me to post this image. I said, I just really feel like I want to start the LOL grandma trend.
Huh?
This era was so unhinged. So this year I auditioned to be a performer for Six Flags for some of their shows that they did at the Crystal Pistol. This was in Atlanta. And I recounted the experience, but this was a really fun fact. American Idol Season 1 contestant EJ Day was there and in the male callback group. If you don't remember him, he was the first one voted off. I think he sang the song I'll Be on the American Idol soundtrack for the first season, which he of course sang for his audition as well. The auditions were open so we could see everyone in their initial audition. The guy actually introduced his song as Krabby Patty by SpongeBob. He sang a line, if you could call it singing, and then started laughing. He asked if he could start it over and he did, and ended up laughing again. He then proceeded to walk off the audition area and said, I can't do this, laughing the whole way. So bizarre. Honestly, that's an icon. There's so much more in there that I could share. So let me know if you want to see more. Plenty of material, folks. Plenty of material. I'm planning to upload a lot more here on YouTube, and I'd like to do it weekly. So if you want to keep up with me, subscribe if you like. And if not, it's really fine. But thanks. Bye.